Hello YouTube makeup lovers. Today I'm going to do a video all about foundations. I'm going to tell you about my current favorite foundation at the moment and a bunch of other foundations that I've been using for the past couple years. They range in prices. Some of them are from the drugstore, some of them are very high-end brands, and others are just kind of in the middle. It's very hard because you want to get the right color, you want to get the right texture for your face, you don't want to look like you have a pack of makeup piled on or like your face is cakey. So I know it's really tricky and it really is a pain. So I hope this video helps you out in finding the perfect foundation for you. So the very first foundation I'm going to mention from the drugstore is a Neutrogena Healthy Skin. This is the one that I mentioned in my favorite drugstore video, and it really truly is one of my favorites from the drugstore. I use the shade Nude 40. This has SPF 20. The back of the bottle, I kind of want to read a little bit of what it says of all the different types of foundations that I'm going to mention. It's an exclusive blend of antioxidants and SPF 20, keeps skin young and healthy looking, and lightweight silky formula. And that it truly is. It really is a lightweight silky formula. It's one thing I hate about foundations. I don't want to feel cakey. I don't want to feel like I have all this heavy makeup on my face. And this is very good. My skin is usually dry, and this works really good for me. And I also have a friend who says her skin is more normal towards combination, and she uses it as well, and it works on her too. Another foundation from the drugstore that I've tried and used for quite some time is this Instant Age Rewind Eraser Treatment Makeup by Maybelline. What I love the most about this foundation, which even though I love using brushes to apply my foundation, I mean, that is my go-to way to apply foundation. I usually always use a Sigma Kabuki brush. This is the Angle Top 1 F84 to apply foundation. But this is just so easy. You literally just open it, you click it, and then you can just put it on. I only use this to actually apply it on my face. I don't use it to really blend it. I always use my brush to blend. But this is like genius. You know, you don't have to worry about putting it in your hand and the product. I literally just put it over their face. And that's the thing that I like the most about it. It's just very easy. Sometimes with containers like this, you know, where it just like comes out of there, it tends to be a little sloppy. Like the Neutrogena one, this one also has SPF 18. This says it's super concentrated goji, berry, and collagen. I like this foundation. I still would prefer the Neutrogena over this one from the drugstore. I think it worked for me because I tend to be more dry skin. I think it might be a little too creamy for people with oily skin, but I'm not sure. I just know that I feel it very creamy and very moisturizing, and I have dry skin. So I know that maybe for someone with oily skin, they might feel it's a little bit too rich. The next foundation I'm going to mention is L'Oreal Nude True Match. This one is in Nude Beige W3. It has SPF as well. So all these drugstore ones that I usually use do have SPF. And I like it a lot. It's very good foundation. It's right up there with the Neutrogena. I like it that much. I've only been using this one for a couple weeks, so I really haven't used it as long as I have been using the Neutrogena one. But it's very good. I do think that it's a very high quality foundation for it to be sold in the drugstore. So if you're looking for something very good quality and that lasts all day, I mean, this is a very good foundation. It's a very thin foundation as well. It does not feel cakey, which is something that I definitely look for in a foundation. Okay, so that's pretty much it from the drugstore. For tinted moisturizer, my preference is the Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. This has SPF 20. It's lightweight, flawless coverage. I use the shade Nude, and I love it. It is really lightweight, easy to apply. You can apply it with your hands or with a brush. It's something definitely good to be on the go. This is something I use when I don't want to have too heavy makeup, but you still want to have some foundation on or some sort of like coverage for your face, but you don't want to really go so heavy as a foundation. Even though my foundations that I use aren't heavy, but it definitely gives a more flawless finish, and regular foundations, you definitely have a lot more makeup on. So this is something that I use when I want to go a little bit lighter, and I love it. It is my favorite tinted moisturizer. Makeup Forever is a brand that I really like for foundations. I use two of them. The Makeup Forever HD foundation, I love it. And the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus, which I love as well. For the HD foundation, I use the shade 118. I think that's what it says. And for the Matte Plus, I I don't know what shade it is because I can't see it on the bottle. It just has a bunch of numbers in the back. It says reference 37030. Could it be the number 30? I'm not sure. But the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus is a lot thicker than the HD, but it's very good. It's supposed to be a mattifying foundation, but it's not so matte where your skin feels like dry and with no glow, you know. It still has the glow. It's very good. It's oil free. It's water resistant. This is the one that I use when I really want to be like fully covered, fully foundation, like I'm gonna go out for something very fancy and I want my makeup to last all night. This is the one that I would use. The HD High Definition Foundation I really like. It's a little bit more lightweight. This is supposed to be great for taking pictures. I mean, not that I go on photo shoots or anything, but I really like it. I use it a lot. I feel it's a little bit lighter than the Matte Plus, but they're both good. For me, they're both great coverage, and they're very good for my drier skin, and I mean, I really recommend. I bought these at Sephora. Another foundation that is amazing, but it's the most priciest one of all, the ones that I'm going to show you, is the Giorgio Armani foundation. This is the Luminous Silk foundation. I use the number 5. This is an amazing foundation. It really does feel like silk. It's great. I was obsessed with this one for quite a while, but it is very pricey. I mean, this is a foundation that is always voted the top foundation of the department stores, and it really is a great foundation. It is very silky. It's very natural looking. It does not get cakey. It lasts all day long. I mean, I've only gone through one and I haven't repurchased just because it's so expensive and because I like to try out different ones. I don't feel that it's a foundation that I cannot live without. It is very good, but after I went through the whole tube, I mean, pretty much there's like a little bit left through here, I'm fine with it. I mean, I used it. It was great. Do I recommend it? Yes, absolutely. But am I going to repurchase it? I don't know, because I have found other ones that are really good. They're a little bit less expensive. I'm not saying they're that cheap either. I mean, it's a great foundation and I really recommend it. But I have other ones that I'm kind of favoring now at the moment, which is kind of why I haven't repurchased it. But I'm going to mention those now too. Then after I went through my Giorgio Armani bottle, I wanted to try the Nars Sheer Glow Foundation. And they're these. And then that one was my favorite. So I kind of go through stages. And it's a very good foundation. The only thing that I didn't like was that I had to buy 2 to get my perfect color. I used Deauville, which is light number 4, and Punjab, which is medium number 1. I mixed these 2 and it gave me a great color. I mean, I liked it so much, I literally have almost gone through both of these. I've heard before that these Nars are very similar to the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Makeup. And that's kind of why I bought this one, because I had heard so many people rave about it, that it's just like the Nars. And at that time I was using the Nars, and it's so true. They're such similar foundations. So if you don't want to spend the money on the Nars, just get the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Liquid Makeup from the drugstore. And I mean, it is great. And look, for this one, I found my color in one tube, you know, in one shade. This one I have to mix, and that's kind of a pain, you know. I mean, it's a good foundation, but I want to buy one that is my perfect color. I don't want to have to start mixing colors to try to get to my shade. Another foundation that I really have been liking is this Illamasqua Skin Base Foundation. I use the number 6.5. This is a very good foundation. For me, I definitely consider this a full coverage foundation. I feel it's very thick. I think it's one of the more thick ones that I've mentioned today. And it works very well, but for my dry skin, in order for me to use this and for it to go on very nice and smoothly, I have to be very moisturized. So I always literally moisturize the second before I apply it. And it works great. It covers everything. But if you don't want such a thick foundation or a full coverage, then I wouldn't recommend this one. But on the other hand, you also don't feel like you're cakey and you don't feel like you're oily and full of makeup. This is probably very good for people with more oily skin. Mine is drier, and I remember the first time I put it on, I was like, this is not gonna work for me. I felt like it was, you know, it was getting patchy and it wasn't spreading properly and flawlessly. And then I just realized that it's just because my skin is drier, you have to be a lot more moisturized. But once I got the hang of it and I started moisturizing and putting it on, it really applied beautifully. And like I said, It covers everything up. It's a very good foundation. I got it at Sephora. Illamasqua is a brand that I really haven't tried that much, just a couple products, and this is one that I have been waiting for because I had heard about it so much, and then when it finally got to Sephora, I went out and bought it right away. A foundation that I'm really into right now, which is the Cream Smooth Laura Mercier foundation. It comes like this in a pot or in a jar. I don't know how you would call this. I use the color Warm Ivory. It looks like this. It's a thicker type of foundation. I don't think I would recommend this for people with oily skin. It works great with me, that my skin tends to be more dry. It's very moisturizing. I do put moisturizer under it as well. I always wear moisturizer under my foundation. And then this one, I literally just dab it everywhere and then I blend it, and it blends great. I mean, I love it. It really is a very good foundation. I really like it. This is my go-to for the moment. It's blended in. It looks flawless. Your skin looks kind of dewy, but you don't look like you're greasy, or it just looks, it's just the right amount of dewiness. So that's pretty much it with the foundations. Out of the ones that I've mentioned, I'm going to show you the ones that I reach for the most. I definitely would pick as my favorites the two Makeup Forever ones, the Makeup Forever HD and the Matte Velvet Plus. I reach for these a lot, and right now my Laura Mercier foundation, the Cream Smooth foundation, and then of course my Neutrogena Healthy Skin foundation, Healthy Skin Liquid Makeup. Those are the four that I tend to reach for the most. It's been a while since I've reached for the Nars and for the Giorgio Armani. Those were my favorites at one point, and they're great foundations, but they're not my current favorites. You know, I've been tending to reach for these the most. So that is pretty much it. I know that was a lot of information, but I hope it was helpful and that you had fun watching this video and that you continue to watch Be Lounge Makeup. Bye!